Good Sunday evening, everybody. Meteorologist Keith Gibson in the First Alert Weather Center. Thanks for joining in on the stream tonight on social media, also our news app and our website. We are all over the place here tonight. I do want to let you know that we have a First Alert Weather Day coming up for Monday and Tuesday. Heat and humidity has been moving back on into the region, and if you've been outside at any point today, in most spots, you know it is very, very humid. Right now, just after 8 o'clock, 80 degrees still being reported in Green Bay with a dew point of 71. We'll do a little sky cam tour, then get into our forecast. It's 81 in Shawano, dew point 76. There's a little bit of cloud cover out there. Still a slight chance for a shower or thunder shower during the night, but I think the big story here will be the heat, the humidity, and the mugginess. 74 in Manitowoc, a little bit cooler with a lake breeze there. 82 in Appleton, the sun has gone down. It is a pretty nice Sunday evening. I was just walking around the building not too long ago. Not too bad. This is one of those great summer evenings if you just want to sit outside for a little bit and enjoy this extremely humid environment. It doesn't happen too often in this part of the world, but it is a pretty warm night, 74 degrees in Sturgeon Bay. All right, so we are mainly in the 70s here. Let me put myself back up on the screen here so we can have a little bit of a conversation. I've got temperatures that we just showed you were mainly in the 70s and 80s, and let me cut to this real quick. These are the dew point values. Hello, great to see you tonight. Anywhere from the upper 60s to mid 70s, that's all of the moisture in the air. And keep in mind, the actual temperature can't fall below the dew point. So when the dew point temperatures are this high, it means we're going to have a very muggy night with lows mainly in the 60s and 70s. The heat index still, as of 8 o'clock, into the mid and upper 80s in some spots here across the Fox Valley. Again, cooler lakeside and up across the North Woods, but it's pretty muggy out there as we close out this weekend. All right, so that's where we currently stand. Let's get into your forecasts. We have been giving you this first alert for over a week about the potential for some heat and humidity for Monday, which is tomorrow, and also Tuesday. There's a heat alert and heat advisory for areas along and south of Highway 29, south and west of Green Bay. For Monday, there's actually an excessive heat warning for Marquette and Green Lake counties. But the story here on Monday will be for these areas to have the best chance to have the heat index between 100 and 105 degrees in the afternoon. And, this is just not what we want to have. But it is summer. We should be used to the fact that it can get warm this time of year. We haven't really had a lot of heat this summer by and large, but we are going to have some of the worst days as far as heat and humidity combined over the next 2 days. Unfortunate timing, though, with Green Bay Public Schools going back in session tomorrow. Many other schools won't go back to school until the day after Labor Day, but Green Bay Public going back early, 75 degrees, let's just say mid-70s at drop-off. There will be some clouds around. The sky goes partly cloudy by midday and into the afternoon, so when you drop off the kids or when they're walking to school, should be tolerable, but by the afternoon, pretty extreme here. Upper 80s, low 90s, feeling like 100 degrees. And that's just the nature of the beast with all of this humidity that will be around. So first alert pinpoint predictor, our forecast heat indices for about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. There will be a little bit of a lake breeze, so if you are near Lake Michigan, you won't feel the extreme heat today or Monday or Tuesday, the next 2 days. But inland areas, likely 90s and low 100s here. Now, I think we'll still have plenty of heat and humidity around for Tuesday. The extent of the values here, will we have widespread triple digits or mainly only the 80s or 90s? It's all dependent on storms that could be rumbling around on Tuesday, and there could be some clouds that could interrupt our warming, but it's still going to be pretty humid. We know tomorrow is going to be probably the worst one, but Tuesday still very, very humid too. And of course, because of all of this, we have a first alert weather day for Monday and Tuesday. We just talked about the heat and the humidity. Stay in the AC if you can, limit your exposure to that heat and just take many breaks, stay hydrated, and of course check on your elderly friends and family, and be mindful of your pets too when it's very, very hot and humid. Now let's talk about the storm opportunities. Can't rule out a stray shower storm tonight. we don't really have a lot going on locally. There is a little deck of clouds developing and moving through Wisconsin. That is in association with the warm air that is moving into our region. There are some big storms out in the Dakotas, out there in South Dakota, where there's a severe thunderstorm watch. Now, those storms will not be affecting us tonight, but the models are hinting that there could be a stray shower storm in our area tonight. Don't really expect too much here. But as we go through time, tomorrow night into Tuesday, and then later on this week, our rain chances will be going on up. Hey, Nancy, great to see you tonight on the Facebook live stream. So if we do see any strong storms tomorrow night or Tuesday, most likely they would be these storm complexes that would produce some strong gusty wind, perhaps some hail, frequent lightning, locally heavy rainfall, maybe some localized flooding here, but these storm complexes tend to be quick movers. The tornado threat, we're keeping it in the very low category for now. Not overly concerned right now, but of course, anytime there's a chance for storms, when it's this humid, we will continue to watch things closely. So the official severe weather outlook for Monday and Monday night, this will be changing after midnight. So when you wake up tomorrow, watch Action 2 News in the morning, you'll likely see a slightly different map here. But the general thinking is the same. We will likely not have hardly any storminess or wet weather in our immediate area for most of the day. There will likely be a better chance for storms that will be developing to our west, that level 3 threat in Minnesota, and then those storms will be coming our way in some shape or fashion tomorrow night into early Tuesday morning. Yes, Tammy, it is very tropical out there. I got my device here, so I'm trying to keep track of your comments while we go through the discussion. Our severe weather outlook for Tuesday, this level 2, let me correct myself, level 2 severe weather threat for most of our area, assuming we would have some storms that could redevelop during the course of the day on the backside of any storms that would move through early on in the morning hours. So this is still in flux. There's an assumption that we won't have a lot tomorrow because there's going to be a lid on the atmosphere, warm air aloft that will just stop a lot of storms from growing. But Tuesday could be a similar thing, but we have a cold front coming through, and it's about as clear as mud as far as what I can tell you at this point. We'll be watching the radar trends and the model trends here over the next 24 hours. But I would say if we're going to get widespread storms or something like that tomorrow night into Tuesday, at some point, that would be the window of opportunity, not so much in the near term. But having said that, I keep mentioning there could be a stray shower or thunder shower in our region tonight. If you look outside right now, there's a little deck of clouds. Again, that's associated with some of this moisture coming on in. And often we can get some showers or thunder showers as some of that energy, the moisture comes on in this kind of environment. And the models are hinting that there could be a few of those during the overnight hours. And if there is a little bit of wet weather tomorrow morning, 7 or 8 o'clock, and some cloud cover, don't be fooled that it's not sunny and blazing hot when you wake up, because we will go partly cloudy. It is going to be a steam bath in the afternoon here. And it's going to be a pretty rough afternoon. If you can get to the lakeshore, that's going to be your saving grace. But inland areas, it's just going to be, I would say that just the way it looks now, I think tomorrow is probably going to be the worst day that we may have for the entire summer as far as heat, humidity, and all of that combined into just a really nasty day as far as the heat index and just a soupy environment. So we'll see how things go, but it looks very tropical for sure. Oh boy, Lydia saying she feels bad for great grandchildren starting school Tuesday, no air conditioning. Where is that? Hopefully it's... let me know there in the comments there. But yeah, if you don't have to get outside of air conditioning when it's so humid, please try and stay indoors if you can here. That's your best bet. Now, side note on that, you see me wearing my jacket here. The studio is really, really cold all the time. So I've got my jacket on. But it's going to be needed, the AC, over the next day or two with this humidity. All right, so most of the day Monday is not looking too stormy, just hot and humid. This is 9 o'clock Monday evening. So I think there would be a chance for a little bit of storminess across the northern tier near the UP border here Monday evening. Most of us likely on the drier side, but just still very humid. Now this is 2 a.m. Tuesday. We'll advance and pause this at 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning. You see where there could be, and I stress could be, a batch of showers and storms somewhere in our region. And like I said, this is just one solution. We're going to get new data here in the next hour that will probably modify what you're seeing right here. But there are some signs that there will be some sort of a storm complex around Monday night, Tuesday morning. And if that does happen, those could be on the hefty side. But if that does happen to move through, it could disturb the atmosphere a bit, and we may not see a lot of redevelopment in the afternoon, as you can see by 5 o'clock here with this runner predictor. So if we don't see the storms Monday night, then we will likely have a situation where we could have even more storms on Tuesday because we wouldn't have the disruption that would have occurred earlier in the day. So you get the point here. Whatever happens tomorrow night will likely determine what happens on Tuesday as far as the storm chances go. So we're kind of broad brushing Monday night and Tuesday as a whole for some storms, some of which could be strong to severe. And then a cold front will move through sometime Tuesday, and we'll start to settle down just a little bit for the middle of the week. We'll likely cool down a little bit as well. Now, as far as rainfall here, this is the moisture outlook for the next 3 days. Where we have the darker greens and the blues, that's where there's 3/4 of an inch to an inch plus highlighted back to our northwest. For eastern Wisconsin, Fox Valley, it's like 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch. And it's really just going to be a wait and see again where these storms happen to go. You know, it's very humid. These rainfall projections can be way off because it just has to be wherever the storm goes, we can get soaked. And wherever these storms do go, the atmosphere is so juiced up, it could really put down a lot of rain. So we'll have to watch out for a little bit of localized flooding, perhaps, if these storms do happen to fire and perhaps train over the same spot. So that's where we're looking for the next day or two as far as heat and storm chances. So very hot, very humid tomorrow. Still humid and warm on Tuesday. Storm chances tomorrow night into Tuesday, some of which could be strong to severe. Tracy's saying, thank goodness Marinette doesn't start till next week with the humidity coming. Indeed, a lot of the schools are, of course, after Labor Day. I think Green Bay moved up because of the NFL draft. I heard that at some point. I know we had it on our news at some point over the last couple of months, and somebody mentioned it the other day. But it is unfortunate timing. It's just the nature of the beast. Late season heat, we just haven't had a lot of it, and it's coming at the wrong time for at least the Green Bay Public Schools this week. Now, looking ahead, Wednesday looks to be on the tamer side. This run of predictor shows that there could be a little bit of wet weather here on Wednesday. I got a 20% chance going. I think mostly dry, variably cloudy. We'll have another front, though. This will be Thursday, and it looks like Thursday, the second half of Thursday, Thursday evening, Thursday night, early Friday morning, would be the best chance for some wet weather here. Now, I know we have some high school football games being played on Thursday evening. This is 8:30, so that could be disrupted a little bit depending on how this front times out. If it comes in a little bit later, we may be okay. If it comes in a little bit earlier, we may have some wet weather here for those games Thursday night. But the front's going to move through. And by Friday, we start to dry things out. So by Friday evening, for those games being played Friday evening, looks really good. And also the Badgers are playing Western Michigan. We'll talk about that coming up in our Super 7-Day. Things are looking pretty good. And the fact that that front is going to clear our area, folks, that means we're going to have some pretty good weather for Labor Day weekend. So if you do have Labor Day plans, Labor Day weekend plans, as a whole, things looking really good. Dew point trend. Low to mid 70s tomorrow, Tuesday. Notice how we will start to dry the atmosphere out a little bit for the middle of the week. We may spike back up a little bit with that front Thursday and the Friday, and then really get dry going into your weekend. We'll have a second weak cold front come through on Saturday evening, and that's really going to dry things out for the second half of the holiday weekend. All right, your forecast for tonight, variably cloudy. We've got 60s and 70s for lows tonight. The average is 57, so we're going to be about 15 degrees above that in Green Bay, I think. And there could be a stray shower storm. Most spots are dry. Hopefully you've got your fans blowing, some air circulating, your AC going. If you don't have that, maybe you can hang out in your basement. Just find a cool spot here. That's what you need to do tonight and tomorrow, and even into Tuesday too. First alert weather day for Monday, as we keep talking about here. Low 80s near the lakeshore, inland areas, low 90s, and you factor in those dew points in the 70s. It's going to feel like 100, 105, we think, from Green Bay down towards Watoma, Fond du Lac, out towards Wausau. May not be as extreme up north, and definitely much cooler near the lakeshore with a southeast wind coming off the water. Excuse me. Our waves less than 2 feet Monday and on Tuesday. Okay, so let's talk about where we are headed here. 92 tomorrow, 90 on Tuesday. The temperature forecast Tuesday is going to be all dependent on that Monday night storm threat too. So Tuesday is a bit of a question mark as far as how many storms we're going to get, how warm it's going to be, but it's going to be very humid. So Monday, Tuesday, first alert weather days. Then we're down to about 80 degrees on Wednesday. Some of us could stay in the 70s, and we should bring the humidity levels down just a little bit here. So you can breathe a little bit easier, I think, on Wednesday. There's that 20% chance, but it won't be nearly as active. Now, Thursday, we bump up to 83. That cold front comes on in, so there's a chance for some showers and storms during the course of the day. And that could impact some of those high school football games. At this point, it looks like we'll be in the 30s, in the 70s Thursday evening with a chance for some wet weather. For high school games on Friday evening, probably 60s and 70s with mostly clear skies and lower humidity. So it should be pretty good Friday, and maybe not so good on Thursday. Friday, around 80 degrees, seasonably warm. The average right now is 78, so not bad here. We start to dry things out. Any rain goes away during the morning hours. And we have Badger football back. They are hosting Western Michigan, the Broncos, in Madison Friday evening at 8 o'clock. Looks like game time kickoff temperature about 8 o'clock, around 70 degrees. Clear skies should be great for college football here in Wisconsin this week. Things kick off. So that is what we like to see. Now, we also have Saturday, 80 degrees. I've got a late storm question mark there. There will be a cold front coming in late. It looks like it is going to be moisture starved. Couldn't completely take out the rain or storm chance there, but it doesn't look to be too crazy there. And then 76 on Sunday. Let's have a look at that Labor Day weekend. I was mentioning this a few minutes ago. It looks really good. Now, we've had some questionable holiday weather here over the last couple of years, and anytime we have a big holiday weekend, it's always good to have some great weather. And I was putting together the First Alert weather calendar earlier tonight, trying to organize some of the events for the coming weekend. I know there's a lot of stuff happening Labor Day weekend, area-wide. Festivals and events, and you probably want to go out, and we're looking good here. Saturday will be the warmest day, around 80, then 76 on Sunday, low to mid-70s Monday, Labor Day. Overnight lows will be in the 50s. Some of us will likely have lows in the 40s at some point by Sunday night or Monday night across the North Woods as a big area of high pressure comes on in here. So speaking of the holiday scorecard, this is something I've been tracking since Memorial Day. And, we had a really good day of these holiday weekends in the summertime, breaking this out 4-day weekends. And we had a really good day on Memorial Day weekend Saturday. We had a couple of decent days during 4th of July weekend. And I think as a whole, our 4-day Labor Day weekend, Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, looks really, really good. So I don't want to put any icons in there just yet, but it looks like we are going in the right direction as far as good outdoorsy type weather for anything across the entire region. Now, looking ahead, the first week of September, as we get that cold front to come through during the second half of our Saturday, that's going to bring in a big area of high pressure, and it's going to be of Canadian origin, and that means our temperatures will be below average, it looks like, or at least a good chance of having below average temperatures for the first week of September 2nd through the 8th. I know you probably don't want the heat and humidity now. It's going to be a bit ugly here. Yes, the Shawano County Fair, that begins Wednesday evening. Nancy, appreciate it. I was putting that together for the First Alert Weather Calendar. Many other county fairs are going on through the Labor Day weekend too. So we've got a couple of warm days, and then we will be looking at some improved weather by this time next week. Remember a week ago, we had that taste of fall. We had some spots down into the low 30s for lows just a few days ago. Now we've really gone up, and we will really have a peak tomorrow and Tuesday, and then come back down by the end of next weekend. So that's where we are headed here for the week ahead. Hopefully you got some insight as far as where we are headed here with this little weather discussion. And let me go back to that 7-day, real quick. And yeah, it's going to be hot for the next 2 days, and we'll just have to grin and bear, right? And things will be improved by the weekend. All right, so that's where we are headed. Hopefully you stay safe for the coming week. And if you are involved with Green Bay Public Schools tomorrow, teaching, helping out, if your kids are going into the schools tomorrow, just make sure they are well prepared for heat and humidity, and anybody else that will be out working in this very warm and tropical environment tomorrow. Just take plenty of rest and stay hydrated, and take it easy and stay in the AC if you can, because it will be pretty warm. I'm not going to say that this is going to be Mother Nature's last stand as far as high heat or humidity, but the combination of heat and humidity at this level is unlikely to occur in September, but never say never. It gets warm in September, but often that's a little bit of a dry heat, not so much as a muggy heat like what we'll have here Monday and Tuesday. So we'll see how things go right now. That is where we are headed. So we'll see you tonight on the TV at 10 o'clock. If you can't join me then, you already know the forecast. We hope you have a great weekend and have a great week ahead as we get ready for Labor Day weekend next week. Have a great night.